Hello once again, Stitchy Sisters. The other question that was posed was, are you able to sit back and relax, or do you have to sit up with using the scroll system? To give you an idea, I'm going to show once again, this comes right off. You can move things around. I now have numerous scrolls. As you can see over there in the background, there is another pillowcase. I live in the desert, so there's pillowcases over all of my stuff so that fingerprints, dust, and everything else don't collect on it. But these holders right here are super long, and when you loosen this up right here, they slide in, they slide out, so you can have as little room as you want or as much. Both of the bars come together, so depending on the size of your piece, it can be small or it can be moved out. These move like this, very easy, backwards and forwards, unless you tighten them down. If you tighten, whoops, there you go, right there. If you use that piece, tighten them down, they won't move, so depending on what you want to do. The other really cool thing is this knob right here works that stud. So you can tilt this up or tilt it down to give you exactly the best, most comfortable working position possible. This piece of the scroll rod right here, if you pull this out, as you can see, there's holes in the back. There's 3 right here, meaning it's on the 4th one, and there's 3 more down there. So you can go super tall, you can go super short. I tend to be on the shorter side, but depending on what I'm sitting on depends where that's going to be at. At the base, there's 2 different sides of the floor stand feet. There is a longer side over here, so if I was sitting in, say, the kitchen chair or my office chair, I tend to use this because then I can just slide it underneath. My couch, I can't slide this portion underneath, so I use the smaller side so that it's closer to me and my tiny little body. When everything is on here, it is very, very simple to put the piece on there, slide the feet around so you can see now that that is actually stable. Pulling everything out, and I'm sorry you're having to look at this kind of funny. So you pull it out, I sit forward, pull it all the way back, and voila, I promise you, I am sitting all the way back on my couch, totally kicking back. And as you see, I still have more room that I can pull this even closer to me if I want, and I can push it back out. It's not a problem. What is also really cool, and I'll see if I can show you ladies, is if you look here, this is a polyurethane stained. It's got satin on it, so it's finished, where the original one was not. So we are going to be staining. You can see these are newer. And then if you prefer to still use the Q-snap, because I know a lot of people don't like the scroll rods. If you can see this, let me see, turn it around. There's no basting on the scroll rod system, which I really, really like. You simply wrap the very end in this divot section, put the dowel in there, and start twisting. You do that top, you do it bottom, and you have some tension. I never seem to have a problem with the tension. I never really want it too tight because I don't want to actually ruin the fabric. The Q-snaps, I know for my smaller projects I really like. So one of the other things that we're working on is to create a whole new piece up here. So instead of having these, which we are still changing as well, you'll have a piece where there's a clamp that comes down over here, and you can hook the Q-snap, and then you can flip that over, and you're still able to stitch with both hands if you want using a Q-snap, but the Q-snap itself is going to be held up in this area. And then the other idea that we're flying with, trying to get a prototype, once we've mastered the 2 different heads up here, we will change the bottom down here to where it's the full length floor stand, a partial for a table stand, and then we want to create one that you can also use into a lap stand. So lots of different ideas. This has been a royal pain to have to constantly unbolt from underneath to make it out longer and wider for my bigger projects. So we're going to create a portion where this just slides back and forth. But yeah, as you can see, never a problem. You have lots and lots of area to move in, and you can slide this any way you need to.